Hey y'all, it's Courtney with a K, and this is my cooking series, Cooking with a K Seafood Boil. First, we're going to start with our red potatoes. Here you see me actually cutting this potato in half, and then I'm going to halve the half, so I'm putting it in quarters, and then just little chunks. Now, you have probably seen others use the gold potatoes. I've seen gold as well as red potatoes used in a seafood boil. I just prefer red skin potatoes, so I always use those. Providing you a closer view of me chopping up the potatoes. Pepper and salt, they're best friends. I really don't use regular salt. I always use seasoned salt. So we're just gonna go ahead and season the potatoes with a little salt and pepper. Try to do a little light season, and the reason why I say a little light is because later I will be seasoning again, actually in the bag with the seafood and such. It's only this is going to be kind of drowned out by the water because we're going to put our potatoes on boil for a good 15 minutes, and we're going to let them boil for 15 minutes. We're going to let the potatoes boil for 15 minutes so that they can actually get soft. So once we actually put them with the rest of the items, that it'll cook just as well as the rest. So there we go. That's what that looked like. You notice that the season just is actually just in the bowl, in the pot with the rest. So it's not like it's actually on it. And put it on the stove over medium heat. And we're ready to do the next thing. It's the smaller ears of corn. I'm gonna go ahead and cut these in half. So we're gonna half these or whatnot. And I'm gonna place them here on this little paper plate. And that's because the last 5 minutes of my boil on my potatoes, I'm gonna put those in there with my potatoes and let that, I'm gonna actually let it kind of cook too. Corn and the potatoes are gonna take the longest to, I'm struggling here. It's like this corn on the cob is kind of still frozen. I've had it sitting out. Okay, that's not helping. Okay. Oh, we're gonna go back to that one. Let's see if we can find another one that'll participate a little bit more. This is actually a really good knife. Oh shoot, y'all didn't see that. This is actually. We have a little boil here. We're going to allow the potatoes to boil for 15 minutes. The last 5 minutes we will include our corn and our corn cook. And this is only because we want it to do well, because the crab and the shrimp they're gonna cook very well in the oven. So you want to go ahead and put that in there so it won't take nearly as long to cook, because it won't be in the oven that long. A lot of people use the shrimp that is not cooked. They just get the raw shrimp or whatnot. I use the cooked shrimp, being that I am doing my seafood broil in the oven. And so I already know that it's not going to be in the oven, and it's not going to actually roast as long as it would if it was actually being boiled. So I use the cooked shrimp, and then it makes my life easier too. So I mean, like, I'm using these paper plates because that makes my life easier too, right? Like crab on a paper plate, putting my shrimp on a paper plate. I'm not trying to wash dishes, and like literally those dishes just came out of the dishwasher, so don't even try to judge me. But I'm all about making my life easier. So what I actually do is I like to cut the actual shrimp tails off and put them in, so when I put them in my broil, I can actually gobble. I can just eat, and I don't have to actually try to watch, making sure that I don't eat the actual tail on it. So we're gonna go ahead and just cut that off. And then I just pull it off once I cut it. And that makes my life easier. I know it probably is meticulous and it probably takes a lot of time, but I don't know about you. I'd rather take the time now than take the time when I'm actually eating. Like when I'm eating, I'm trying to eat like I have a goal, but I'm not trying to sit here and watch too much of what I'm eating. So I just go through all of the shrimp and cut off the tail, slide up the parts, and that way I'm only eating the meat. Life easy. Okay, so I have these shrimp here that I'm using. Now I allow my crab as well as my shrimp to sit in my fridge most of the day today, so that they weren't frozen and I really didn't have to thaw them out. Ooh, so we kind of boiled that, our potatoes and our corn. I'm gonna put it in here. Make sure it all go in the thing first. Like, ooh, I kind of got some mushy potatoes in there. That's for allowing it to sit in there too long, but hey, we gonna eat it anyway. All right. Kill me. All right. Let that drain completely. Shake that around, and that's gonna be good enough for putting it into the. That's gonna be okay for putting it into the thing. I want you to see my actual shrimps. No, my shrimp. Look at my shrimps. Look at it. All right, so I'll be doing this in the oven. I have my foil pan, and then I'm using the Reynolds kitchen oven bags, the turkey size, to be for my seafood boil. As you can see, it's a pretty decent sized bag. Just gonna open it up here. I'll put all of the ingredients in here and then close it up. So let's get started. I've already put the potatoes as well as the corn in, and so now I'm just putting in the crab legs. Now we're going to put in our shrimp. Alright, so we're going to get some olive oil and drizzle it inside of the bag, pretty much all around, as much as we can. I'm going to use some garlic powder to season. So we're using some black pepper to season as well. Definitely some Old Bay. I have like 2 containers of it because I thought I was running out actually, so I didn't want to run the risk of not having any. And now we're going to just shake it up, try to get the season throughout. Garlic powder, Old Bay, and black pepper. Now to add our butter. Alright, so we have this stick I'm unwrapping, and whoop. Yeah, we're going to use that whole thing. We're actually going to use 2 sticks of butter. I tried to put 1 stick of butter on one side of the bag and then the other stick of butter on the other side of the bag. And you have parsley. I love parsley. I think it makes any dish look that more appealing. But I'm gonna go ahead and actually sprinkle it on the boil now, and then even later, once I actually put them on the plate for garnishing purposes, I will use it again. So I'm actually using lemon juice. I'm going to squeeze the lemons onto the boil, and this kind of gives it a different type of flavor. Okay, so we have the garlic thing going, lemon, and the Old Bay. And once I'm done squeezing all the juice out, I just put the lemon inside of the bag. And here's my favorite part. I get to shake the bag. I will say that the turkey bag is pretty durable, so you don't really have to worry about like puncturing it or putting a hole in it. But I will say that you don't want to shake too roughly. You want to just kind of gently do it. Okay, let's see what we have here. Delicious. It's gonna look so much better once it's actually done. Alright, so now we're ready to actually put it in the oven. So we're gonna kind of get all the air out of the bag, and then we're gonna tie a little knot in the top. Okay, I like to take my knife and put like little vents, like little holes in it, so the air can kind of get through once it's steaming and it doesn't combust. And then once we have all of that done, then we're ready to put it in the oven. And that's what we're doing, put it in the oven. The oven has preheated on 400. We allow it to sit in there for 15 to 20 minutes, and look at how delish it is. Once on the plate, I jazz it up with a little more Old Bay and parsley, and bon appetit, you guys. This concludes my first segment of Cooking with a K. Thank you for watching and supporting. Don't forget to subscribe. More to come that you don't want to miss.